Hey y'all, so this is a second video about some of my psychedelic experiences. So I was up in Annandale, like 20 years ago or whatever, and me and this guy are going up all the way up to the top, and we're sitting there, and it's like a sort of like that stuff that looks like weed or something. It's like a really uniform field, and so I was able to collapse my depth perception completely, so it was just like a flat image. And then I realized that there was this extra gap. So even when you collapse all the depth of perception, there's this extra gap. And I remember thinking that's what, if that gap wasn't there, then experience couldn't exist. And there's that reoccurring theme that I was been having in psychedelic experiences about how the gap is necessary. On LSD, also in that experience, my friend started playing a metronome because he was a musician and he needed something to time, and it just almost drove me insane. That's one of those things, you got to be careful who you take things with, They have to be on the same page as you. So also 20 years ago, I was on LSD, and I remember, there's this phenomena, if you have right hemisphere damage in the back of your head, the occipital lobe, which is vision, what's going to happen is you can experience motion blindness, and instead of motion, you'll see stills stacked one after the other, or you'll see something here and then there, as opposed to a continuous. So I saw something like that on LSD, where I saw basically each little instant was stacked right in front of each other, and so it's kind of like seeing everything in slow motion, individual frames overlapping, whereas in normal time we see a blur almost as motion. Also, that is kind of connected to the theme about, at least in cognition, the left hemisphere kind of values sameness and the right hemisphere values squiggliness. Well, it's the same thing for vision. The left hemisphere doesn't like movement. It's our right hemisphere that likes movement. Even for our body, if you get a stroke in a certain part of your left hemisphere that has all your body positions, you'll experience yourself as a fluid. This happened to neurologist Jill Bolt Taylor, actually. Kind of interesting. She also said that the right hemisphere is biased towards bass, and the left hemisphere is biased towards treble. And then you add it's also biased towards excessive cheeriness. So you can see happy, smiley, that fake happy, smiley stuff, right? Going back to the brain, when a nerve cell fires, it actually fires. There's these branches called dendrites, and the signal goes down every dendrite, every branch, and then they fizzle out, and that at certain points, certain branches are enhanced and others aren't enhanced. So that's kind of interesting, because you're trying to understand what even decides where things go, and signals have to go to some places and not others to be combined with other signals and other nerve cells, and so it all feels sort of non-local. The other thing about the brain is there's only 3 or 4 sequence of firings from observation to action. So it's not as if, and that happens in a less than a second, or a few seconds, right? And the problem with that is there's no time to send any kind of a code. There's no neural code. Like it's just one pulse, and then it's combined with other pulses, and then there's like a firing. But that one pulse isn't carrying any information. So it's almost like it's like pretending to carry information. It's really strange. I say that because it's sort of like, you know, you're carrying information in RNA, messenger RNA. It's like that, but it's like it's pretending to do it, which is sort of weird. I mean, it's not just sort of weird. It's like, it's weirder than if it was just like magic. The other thing is, that last podcast I was talking about the shared hallucination that I had with a girl, and how we both were seeing like fluid, and I like hit the fluid and created ripples, and she hit the fluid and created ripples, and then it made an interference pattern. Well, the weird thing about that, well, I mean, there's many weird things, but like, we're seeing the same thing, or we're projecting the same thing. It's not like seeing two people seeing the same objects from different angles, which would be seeing different things. This is a co-projection. And, but we're also seeing different angles, so we're seeing different things, and that's weird. Yeah, I think that's all I want to say for now.